There was an emperor in history. He is highly controversial. His supporters say he is the leader of the Mongol Sinakized clan. He named his hometown Hala River. His real name is Liu Bile, and his admirers say he represents the peak of Chinese territory. From Korea in the east to Europe in the west. From the North Sea in the north to Hainan Island in the south. He is the founding emperor of the Yuan dynasty. The grandson of Genghis Khan. Kublai Khan. So why is Kublai Khan so controversial? Because besides having a Mongolian father, his actions are quite similar to those of the Central Plains emperors. His founding battle was fought using Han troops against his Mongolian compatriots after Genghis Khan's death. According to his will, Ogdi succeeded him. Under his rule, the Mongol Empire remained powerful. In 1234, Ogdi led an army to conquer the Jin dynasty, establishing the foundation for the empire's rule in the Central Plains. However, Ogdi died after just a few years. His son, Gayuk, ruled for only 2 years before dying. With no successors, Monk, the eldest son of Tal Yui, was elected Khan in 1251. Monk appointed his brother Kublai to lead the Han people in Hebei. With Monk's support, Kublai gradually implemented policies of Sinicization. This move expanded his influence within the empire. However, good times didn't last long. In 1259, Monk died unexpectedly during a campaign against the southern Song. This caused a major power struggle within the Mongol Empire, and the succession was thrown into chaos. At this time, Kublai was attacking the southern Song, while his brother Erekbok was in the capital, Karakoram. Both believed they should inherit the throne. So Kublai abandoned the southern Song campaign and led his forces north against Erekbok. He also quickly gathered Mongol nobles and generals, emphasizing that he was the true defender of Mongol traditions. He criticized Kublai for being too close to Han culture. Kublai was enraged by this. He replied, "I fight for the Mongols. After all, I am a descendant of Liu Bang. It's a joke. You Han people can't even find the Mongols' nest. How could I not? No one knows Mongols better than I do." In 1262, Kublai personally ended the Mongol Empire, leading the Han army from Hebei and Shandong to expel the Mongol Khan Erekbok, his own brother. He even burned the capital, Karakoram. In battle, many Mongol nobles and generals perished. To solidify his power, Kublai had to purge the tribes. This massacre earned him the label of traitor. Kublai's founding battle was an attack on his own homeland. It's astonishing. It's like in 1938, Yamamoto led troops recruited from the east to counterattack Tokyo and burned down the imperial palace, taking the throne for himself. A Mongol leading Han soldiers to reclaim their homeland is quite reasonable, right? In one word, outrageous. Everything Kublai did was remarkably similar to what Zhu Di did centuries later. Zhu Di said, "I often campaign in the north." Kublai replied, "I do the same." Zhu Di said, I have a large army. Kublai responded. I do too. Zhu Di said. I am from Sichuan. Kublai replied. Me too. In fact, it doesn't end there. Later, Kublai also conquered the southern Song in 1267. This was quite absurd. Kublai led the Han to destroy the Mongol Empire, and the Mongols to conquer the southern Song. Kublai achieved the rare feats of southern expeditions and significant victories. His actions positioned him as a rebel in both the Mongolian and Han contexts. Later, Kublai established the provincial system, designating traditional Han regions as provinces. Even today's provinces are directly governed by the central authority. Yet he set his own hometown as a frontier region. This was somewhat self-deprecating. Moreover, Kublai treated the Han well. Southern provinces, including Jiangsu and Zhejiang, which suffered under the Song, found relief under the Yuan. Heavy burdens lifted. Taxes were lighter. During the Yuan, it became a paradise for merchants. He will go bankrupt. After bankruptcy, a large number of Mongolians became slaves to the Han people. Song-era taxes reached 700,000 dan. Kublai Khan turned a blind eye to this 270,000 dan. Kublai even overlooked tax evasion by Han people when he realized the reason. In Fuzhou, there were too many Mongolians who had become slaves. Taxes were 100,000 mu. The emperor had to arrange for their redemption. During the Yuan, it dropped to 4,000 mu, a 20-fold difference. Surprisingly, over 10,000 were gathered. Kublai knew he was losing significant tax revenue. This was just a part of them. Countless other Mongolians were sold to India. However, the Mongols did not produce and could not earn money. And Arabia. According to historical records, it even mentioned that Mongolian men and women were sold overseas. After the establishment of the Yuan dynasty, Kublai Khan focused on Sinicization. He appointed Han officials and treated the landlord class leniently. He adopted Han laws and established various political systems. He set up agencies to manage agriculture, using agricultural performance as a major criterion for assessing officials. Interestingly, Kublai even issued an edict to compile historical records for the Song dynasty. Compiling history for a previous dynasty means final judgment. This is a unique historical sentiment of the Eastern elite. Previously, Kublai also tried to persuade Wen Tianxiang to surrender, but was scolded harshly by him. Instead of being angry, he respected Wen Tianxiang as a loyal minister. It seems that not only political systems, but even Kublai Khan's thoughts and morals were leaning towards the Han. That said, why did Kublai choose to become a Sinicized Mongol instead of being a good Mongolian Khan? Because at that time, Kublai urgently needed a solid base. Other steppe lords and old Mongolian nobles either supported his younger brother Erikbo or supported the sons of Mongolia. They would not ally with Kublai. Thus, whether to conquer the southern Song or integrate Mongolia, Kublai needed a strong base. At that moment, the Han landlord class, pressured by Mongolian nobles, needed a Mongolian ruling class to represent their interests. Kublai himself was relatively aligned with Han interests. This was mutually beneficial. At that time, Han people in Kublai's court became the main force, providing Kublai with effective commercial strategies. Kublai understood well that compared to the caravan economies of Central Asian city-states, Mongolian pastoral economies, and the tax potential of the Central Plains could support Kublai's conquests. While the four Korean states indulged in plundering, Kublai had already established a complete tax system in the Central Plains, with annual revenues in the millions. This was basic governance, just collecting taxes, without concerning other matters. Kublai retained some Mongolian privileges in the court, while fully implementing Han laws at the grassroots level. However, this pragmatic reform also harbored contradictions. The fusion of Mongolian and Han ideologies would eventually collapse in half a century due to conflicts and revolts. The Yuan dynasty, like historical trends, illuminated the Eurasian continent with its iron and blood, but suddenly collapsed in less than a century. In 1368, the northern Yuan court lost the rich lands of the Han, and within 20 years regressed to a nomadic state. Even the imperial jade seal was lost, as war ravaged the land. If Kublai saw Genghis Khan, he would probably say, "Grandfather, I have already become a Han." Genghis Khan would reply, "My grandson, he is not a traitor. He is the Emperor of the East." Finally, like and follow the tavern. History is complex and confusing. I will help you see clearly.